And hello there folks, me RJB from RJB TV, and this is going to kick off a series that I'm gonna do for a little while, where I'm going to dive back into the year 2019 and cast a lot of games that I might have already cast, but largely I won't have cast yet. 2019 was an absolute treasure trove of games, because 2019, in my opinion, or not even my opinion, I can factually prove this. 2019 saw the most activity on fastest map 1 vs 1 ever. 2019 was an absolutely insane year. We had like 20 games between top level players every single day. And I have almost all those replays, because I have Burgersasu's autosaves going all the way back to early 2019. Yeah, early 2019, somewhere in February, that's where it starts, all the way into 2024. So I've got a lot of Burgersasu replays. I have a lot of question replays. You see here on the blue Protoss. Burgersasu, by the way, on the red Terran. I think 2019 was the prime of their career. Because 1, we had a lot of activity. 2, nobody had carpal tunnel yet. That's also a really big factor into players performing at their best, because when you are able to use your wrists to your maximum potential, have maximum mouse control, play at the best that you ever could, that is when you will also be the best. That's what I think. And you can keep developing your smartness, your knowledge, your build orders, your adaptations. But I think that when your hands are the healthiest they ever were, it just allows you to do things you otherwise could not do. So we will be probably looking at a Burgersasu and a question that are able to do things that they can no longer do. Because 2019 is literally the prime time of their StarCraft careers. I've said it many times before already in this video, but that really was the case. It really was the best of times. It really was the best of times. So we have 2 interesting build orders coming out from both these players. We have Question going for triple gateway, which is something that I usually do not endorse, but maybe it's gonna work. I don't know. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I'm not gonna call it too early. Burgersasu goes for triple barracks on an 8 barracks into 9 supply depot, which is, historically speaking, very good against triple gateway. Very good against triple gateway. The probe there gets into the entire base and scouts practically just the standard stuff. Things that you will always see a Terran do. We see Question moving out there with triple zealots. He goes for triple gateway into wave of zealots, another wave of zealots, a nexus, and that is a forge, and there is a cannon. So he's gonna go for some early game aggression with those zealots. He's gonna move over across the map. Burgersasu is scouting the top side of the map. Question's on the bottom side, but Burgersasu by now knows that Question's on the bottom side, but he doesn't know what Question is up to. So one player has information, and here you see why triple gateway is just not effective. Here you can see why triple gateway is really just not effective. He tried to get in there with his zealots, and the Marines just easily, very easily, fight off that attempt at doing any damage, or breaking through. So Burgersasu, feeling safe from having easily deflected any damage from those 3 zealots earlier, goes for a command center, and maybe a 3rd command center as well. Though he gets the gas in the back first, he might be changing his mind now because he sees more zealots than he thought he would be seeing. And because he sees more zealots than he thought, he is slightly adjusting his game plan. He needs an academy really quickly, because at some point the zealots might grow to such a number where he might not be feeling too safe. The SV there though got into Question's base, gets a lot of information. I think he saw the entire backside. He might go in later yet again. Zealots are dancing back and forth looking for something to kill, but there's so many Marines from the triple barracks production that, yeah, he's not going to be able to really push into that base without losing more than he can kill, and that's never worth it. It's never worth it to kill less than you will lose. Never worth it. So he cancels the bunker there in the front because he realized that Question is retreating back home, who's building some cannons there in the front, getting a pretty quick robo there, but it's a single robo. Also, there is a single citadel on the way. Kind of difficult to pronounce, single citadel. Try saying it. A single citadel. It's not that easy to pronounce. There's a lot of S's in there and a lot of similar sounding things. It's hard. I promise you. It's maybe not for you. Maybe for you it's quite easy. But for me, I struggled saying single citadel. I mean, I no longer do because I've been saying it like so many times over. I've had some practice now, but single citadel of a Dune. It doesn't exactly roll off the tongue. Robo number 2. This build order is starting to look more standard now. The only difference being that he has a lot of zealots, and that is something Question is very good at. Question is extremely good at producing and macroing. I think he might actually be perhaps one of the fastest players with macro I've maybe ever seen in the game. He does not miss a single second of production on anything. And his timings are pretty much as good as they can be. I really think Question is one of the most underappreciated 1v1 Gosus that never really got a moment to properly shine. So we have Burgersasu arrived with Medic, Marine, and Stim on the scene. He scanned the choke, and he's going to try to break through, and I don't think that's a really good idea. I mean, that's a lot of Marines, like a lot of Marines. We also have a lot of Zealots, and the Medics are running out of energy because the Medics don't have enough energy to... Like, it's only 3 Medics and like 26 Marines. The Marines are going to be too great a number for the Medics to heal up. So he tried to do some damage, but he kind of just lost a lot of Marines. He killed them. He killed a gateway, killed a cannon, maybe 2 Zealots, I'm not too sure, but he didn't break through. And now we got the Reavers on the way from Question. We have Zealot speed, almost finished up there in the back as well. No shuttle speed there yet though. He's going to get level 1 attack to get those Zealots a little bit stronger, do a little bit more damage against the Marines. Whereas Burgersasu ended up building a wall. He's on 5 barracks, 2 still on the way, got a tank there in the back, getting factor number 2. So no fast starboard, no fast tank drops. Starts building those turrets there on the bottom. We're at 6:30 into the game. 6:30 into the game is usually around the time that the shuttle comes out and flies out. As you can see right now, 6:30, it flies out, and it is ready to attack. Burgersasu has to retreat back to behind this wall very quickly because things might get very ugly. He's looking for the shuttle, but the Zealot's coming in on a surround. All the Marines, the Michael there on display from Burgersasu. He's playing at maximum speed, and he's losing so much. This was such a good move from Question. Burgersasu really overstepped his limitations there. But Question is taking it slow. He's taking it slow. He's taking it very slow. I think he can go for it here. He's giving Burgersasu time to get siege mode and get his tank into position to also maybe flank from behind with the 4 Marines from the top. They're just pushing forward. Siege mode is seconds away. He's having trouble shooting on the bunkers. Oh no, Reaver's tripping out. Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. He just gives up. Question just gives up. Like, that is not Question making a mistake by moving his Reavers into range of his own accord. That was the coding forcing the Reavers to get closer than he wanted them to be. Goes in there over the bottom side, unloads a Reaver. Reaver shoots on the Marines. Tanker comes from the back. Gets a lot of SCV kills. Oh my god, down to 29. I think he got 11, maybe 13 kills. That was a pretty good shot. Burgersasu was expecting the Reaver to die or to not be within range. And he was wrong. He was very wrong. So now Question is in a pretty monumental lead. His level 1 attack is about to finish up. He's got a Tempest Archive as well, getting Storm. He's maybe adding on a third Robo in the front. Templars are ready. Shuttles are on the way. 2 shuttles are on the top as well with a Reaver and about 6 Zealots. The top side is completely open. This is kind of why it's important to try out different angles for your drops. Don't just try to fly over the exact same side all over, like every single time. Try to mix things up a little bit to force the Terran to cover more surface area than just the one angle you're flying in over, because the Terran will notice that you're trying to fly in over just one single side. Reaver unloads, Marines are very clumped up, have to run away. Scarab is on the chase, gets 1 kill, lucky break there for Burgersasu. Unloaded drop there at home is being loaded up, being flown in at the same time. It's a double drop, 1 at the top, 1 over the bottom. Bottom side drop, Burgersasu doesn't notice this one. He's so focused on the top side drop that the Temples unload on the scene and Storm, but the Storm doesn't kill as much as he would have liked to. Does not kill as much as he would have liked to. A bunch of SCVs survive on very low HP. On the top side, the Reaver and the Zealots have been taken down there by the Marines and the tanks. So Burgersasu somewhat manages to prevent dangerous amounts of damage from happening, but that was a very good double drop there from Question. Now he's going to go for a small little frontal attack, or maybe he's going to try to clean out the sides. The shuttle's there over the bottom on the way to go in. 2 more. 6 robos. This production is still absolutely insane. He didn't miss a single second of production anywhere at any point in time. Look at his minerals being below 150. His production is crazy. Goes over the bottom. A very simple drop. A very simple drop. Temple's on the scene, ready to storm, but nothing to storm on because the SCVs are on the top side. So once again, a lucky break there for Burgersasu, who is still recovering from the earlier drops on his economy. But it's starting to look better now. Tank up there over the top side comes in. Comes in. There's nothing. It's fire bats in the tank. Tank sieges up. Tank will shoot. Nope. It will not shoot on the probes. Probes stay alive. The High Templar on the bottom? That one might become a problem at some point. Starting to get cannons on the middle. Big drop over the bottom side. Another drop there. Be prepared to go in over the top side, most likely. Like, he's got a couple options. Either go from 2 directions, or send both drops in over the bottom side. Another tank drop there from Burgersasu coming in over the bottom side. This side is not very well protected. He has a chance to do some real damage here. Zealots rushing to the bottom. Drop there happening on a Burgersasu. Burgersasu not responding to this one. He's focused on his own tank drop. Loses almost all the SCVs. Loses a lot of Marines. And that's GG. Question takes down Burgersasu in game number 1 with a very well executed plan there. Burgersasu was busy with this tank drop while getting dropped himself, and Question, just with better multitasking, slays the burger. Slays the burger. So that was game number 1. We have more games lying in wait for you and I to enjoy. So let me just quickly load them up and move into game number 2 between Burgersasu and Question. And it's of course going to be another question on Protoss. But Burgersasu is moving over to the Zerg. Moving over to the Zerg. So let's load that up. Let's add 1 win there to Question on the top. And let's enjoy ourselves another freshly served meal from 2019. Burgersasu on the Zerg, same spawn location as last time, 9 o'clock. And we have Question on the 1 o'clock spawn location on the Brown Protoss, ready to rock and roll and entertain us. Ready to entertain us. So I've seen Question's Protoss against Zerg a couple times in my life, and generally, I have to admit that his build orders are very well timed. You saw it last game. The timings were crisp. The execution of his drops was really well done. His production was superb. I'm giving him a lot of praise, but I really am a big fan of Question. I talked to him a couple times here and there. Had the pleasure of meeting him somewhere in 2019 in December. That's when I met most of these players. Some players I met before that time, like somewhere in 2019 in probably July or June. That's when I met most of the players and got most of their replays. But yeah, Question has always been a solid player. And because this is a Protoss against Zerg where they both pick their races, we can see that Question is going for a Nexus first into gateways. It is kind of safe to do this. Also notice how he's leaving some space between his Nexuses, because there's a chance if you put your Nexus directly against your main Nexus, like the extra Nexus, directly against it, Zerglings can stand in between the space between buildings, like in between the double Nexus, whereas Zealots and Probes cannot enter. Only Zerglings and Ghosts can pass through that tiny little space in between, and you can kill a Nexus if you don't have cannons right here. You can kill a Nexus with 2 Zerglings right in between the double Nexus, and there's nothing you can do to stop it except build cannons. But cannons have to warp in. Maybe you don't even have a forge. Who knows? So that's why he's leaving that space in between the double Nexus to protect himself from getting embarrassed by Zerglings. And the Zerglings are on the way, but this is a standard Zergling timing. Like you get a hatchery in the choke at 9 supply, then you build another drone, you get your pool, then you build another drone, and then an overlord, and then you get a hatchery. That's the order of things that you have to do. Then you get a very safe double sunken in the front. You never know, maybe you're getting rushed, maybe you're not, but double sunken in the front is standard. And you leave about 3 larvae, 2 here on the main hatchery, 1 on the hatchery in the front, to build 6 zerglings. And with the 6 zerglings, you scout the entire map, and maybe go for a little counterattack, or maybe just to defend yourself from aggression. Now, Question is being cheeky. Over there, scouting the top, he's gonna build a proxy something base. He's trying to keep this little construction here out of Burgersasu's vision, just to prevent him from finding out what's happening. Or maybe this is not gonna be anything. I've seen some players build a cheeky proxy drop right here to keep the information out of enemy hands. Sometimes information is the most valuable thing in the entire game. He's going to try to use those 2 groups of Zerglings to snipe the Probe. Probe is dancing around. Zerglings are chasing. Zealots are there to protect. Gets a cannon up there in the front, and the Zerglings have failed to do their job. And Burgersasu tried to push Sunkens towards the cannons, but he saw that the cannons were already warping in, and the creeps still had to get morphed, which means that the creeps will not turn into Sunkens on time, so he cancels them. But a lot of players, they try to push their Sunkens forward before the cannons are warping in to kill the cannons in the pylon right before they finish, which forces the Protoss to retreat and start another line of pylons and cannons for their proxy robo base on the middle. It's a very good move to do, pushing Sunkens forward. The double robo already on the way. A very fast double robo. Very quick. Very quick. This is Citadel of Adun for speed. So this is something Question is extremely good at. It's a very standard build order, but Question is perhaps one of the very best at this exact build order. It's a double robo, Citadel of Adun, triple gateway, push. Although he's getting a 4th gateway, he's going to get speed for his zealots, going to get a support bay as well, although he's waiting a little bit for the support bay. There it is. Support bay. He's going to build 1 shuttle. Well, 2 shuttles to be exact. 2 shuttles. He's going to fly some zealots into the enemy base. Pick somewhere around here. Then push with the zealots and attack. And force Burgersasu to make Hydralisks and Sunkens in the back. Maybe no Sunkens, but he's going to force him to defend a little bit prematurely. And while that is happening with the zealots, he's going to build a Reavers on the middle. Build more zealots from back at home, rally them to the middle of the map, then go in with level 1 attack and zealot speed, together with the Reavers. But first, here come the shuttle with zealots. He goes in. Now this is the moment where Burgersasu has to build Hydralisks. His Hydralisks, though, are a little bit late. That is why he has the Sunken morphing. He's going to attack the Sunken. Sunken will die, which gives the Hydralisk time to morph. We've got more zealots coming in, which means now we have 7 zealots in the base killing stuff. So this disrupts the mining, and it kills some Hydralisks. And the Hydralisks are required to fight against the drop. So he has zealots to be finished up. Level 1 attack is still pretty far away, so that won't really be in play anytime soon. But look at the disruption. Look at how many drones died. Look how many Hydralisks died. And now we have more zealots coming in. Double Reaver on the middle finished up, although one of them is still on the way. Yeah, he's just absolutely destroying Burgersasu. He's in 33 supply against 94. Question is so extremely good at this build order. He's completely dominating the game. I mean, it's difficult as a Zerg to do this. And maybe Burgersasu went for a couple too many hatcheries. He went for 6 in the back, 1 in the front. So that's a total of 8 hatcheries in total before he started his Hydralisk production. He started his Hydralisk production way too late, and he's paying the price. He tried to get away with basically cutting a lot of corners, taking risks, and Question has punished him for it. Now a really good micro there on display for Burgersasu. Tries to get both the Reavers, but the Hydralisks don't really stand a chance. More coming in there to get a surround, and this surround will do it. But the damage has been humongous. Burgersasu lost 10 drones. And I think about, I'm not sure, but 20 Hydralisks? His economy is really bad, in a really bad shape. He is on 1/3 the supply of Question, which is terrible. It's terrible for Burgersasu. So Question is nailed every single step of the build order absolutely perfectly. Now he's using the courses to push the overlords away. Goes with a drop there. He knows where the highlights are. Burgersasu didn't notice this one. It flew in over the darkness, and he's gonna kill all the drones. Boom, bam. 7 left alive, and another drop that comes in, but Burgersasu taps out and calls GG. And another drop flies in. Question just absolutely playing like a monster. This looked like one of the most one-sided Protoss against Zerg games I've seen in a very long time against Burgersasu. And I have to admit though, I cannot deny, it's an important detail, Burgersasu added 6 hatcheries in the back before he started building his Hydralisk Den. He was gambling, okay? He was a gambling man. He was gambling that Question would not be as fast as he was. He was gambling. And it didn't work out. Question just beat him to the punch. The Hydralisks were too late, too slow, and Question just had too much time to easily punish Burgersasu for playing risky. The proper approach would have been for Burgersasu to go for 4 hatcheries in the back, in addition to the main, and then start a Hydralisk Den. Then add 1 more hatchery, and then start Hydralisk production. But he was trying to get away with murder. Also, I'm just noticing that the next replay is very long, so I'm gonna end the video here. Otherwise the video becomes too long. We're already 22 minutes in. So I hope you enjoyed these 2 games so far. We have a lot more extremely good games coming up for the next 2 videos. So stay tuned. Stay hyped, and we'll see you soon.